Okay, look, anyone that's done commentary on the same thing with the same company for around 30 years is gonna have some down moments here and there. My issue with Joe stems from his insistence that he's kind of always right on these topics no matter what. Guy doesn't really accept criticism, and because of that I feel his commentary's gotten worse and worse through the years, and I'm definitely not alone on this. Joe's at the point where nobody can really do anything about what he does, and the UFC doesn't have the guts to fire him, despite him being an automatic mute for a lot of people. So today I'd like to go through some of Rogan's problems on commentary and more of a broader problem with UFC commentary in general. So to start it off, bias. Now don't get me wrong, Joe's always been biased, but before when there weren't standards and a lot of people were kind of figuring the sport out still, hearing things like this were a little more excusable.
Look at this! Stands back up. That's what I'm talking about.
This really isn't a problem, but it's a symptom, a seed, if you will. Sometimes he'll just flat out ignore one guy landing shots and he'll hyper-focus on the shots his opponent lands. Some weird, tunnel vision thing he's got going on, but let's get into some more specifics. Now, I don't want to burn too much time on this particular topic because everyone's sick of hearing it, but it is important to mention. The guy only has a couple of talking points nowadays. He is the Woody doll of MMA.
Those calf kicks have changed the fucking game.
Calf kicks have gotten him hot and bothered since Benson Henderson. Even if the fighter's showing no discernible effects from the calf kicks, according to Joe, the fighter is in complete agony, might actually get the leg amputated after, and has been dealing with retroactive drop foot through their last 3 fights. Let us never forget that calf kicks changed the game. And a special shout out to those steel cups and about how they might provide leverage for arm bars. I was fine hearing about this the first, let's say, 100 times. Time to move on. We all know at this point. And it's not like the UFC is attracting new fans anyway, so no need to repeat it. Let's go into a couple of moments. Ryan Hall is doing a great job at destroying any goodwill the Eminari role had in active competition by spamming it like your little brother that's never played an MMA game before. Standing across the cage from him was future 2-division champion
Ilya Abturo, top Toro. Grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah?
Seeing this monstrosity play out in real time, how would you expect a commentator to react to this? Deflect a little bit, joke about it, in some way acknowledge the ridiculousness of the situation? Nah. Blame the fans and call them mouth breathers.
And the audience, the unschooled
they don't know what's going
mouth
on,
breathers amongst us, they're going to start booing and screaming about this guy, but
they don't understand.
Make no mistake about it.
A lot of people write this off as lighthearted or maybe just a bad moment, but I really don't like this. This gets under my skin a little bit. You see Ryan Hall pulling this goofy shit in live competition, and your response is blaming the fans, the ones that are paying for these ridiculously overpriced tickets. Nobody wants to pay that much money and then watch someone flop around on the mat like a fish. I don't even see how blaming the people booing is even a thought that pops into your head. That's just crazy to me. Up next on the docket is Izzy versus Jan, or as I remember it, the Eating Feints fight.
Eating feints? There's no such thing as eating feints in MMA.
So funny story, I was in the middle of my shift when this fight was going on, so I couldn't watch it, but I was listening to it in my headphones, and listening to the commentary by itself had me convinced that a completely different fight had taken place. I figured that Izzy had won by at least a round, just judging by what I was listening to, and when I went back to actually watch the fight with my own eyes, I was blown away by how out of touch the commentary was, and how it seemed to sway a percentage of the population to this day into thinking Izzy actually won that fight. Jan never got his full credit for ending Izzy's unbeaten streak, but that's just a personal grievance, and I think Joe's commentary played a big part in that. Oh man, Khabib versus Al. You can argue this is Rogan's worst commentating performance of his entire career. I mean, I would call this nagging, nitpicking, biased blabbing, whatever you want to call it. Watching this fight back, I took out a tally counter. Khabib landed 92 jabs on Al, which has got to be some kind of a record, I swear. Everyone remembers GSP jabbing Koscheck about 5 million times. This is like a weird reimagining of that fight in a way. It's a perfect example of why fix what isn't broken, but instead of talking in depth about Al's grappling adjustments, Khabib's improved striking, or literally anything else, we get almost 3 entire rounds of this.
I think Khabib's, for the most part, been outstriking him.
He has, but it's not impressive. But it's not like we're watching a world-class striker.
What does it matter? He's winning.
But this is no way dominance on the feet. He's just winning, you know?
Okay, but he's hitting his opponent and he's not getting hit. What's the problem?
Throwing a game fighter in there tonight, and Iaquinta has proven that, and then some.
Oh, it's already disappointing. This round is very disappointing for Nurmagomedov.
Okay, but only one guy's taking damage here, Joe.
Is 126 to 18. That number 18 could knock someone dead.
Dude,
If
what are
that
you
doesn't
talking
matter.
about?
How much would you love to be a fly on the wall watching Conor McGregor watch this right now?
And you know what? Screw it. I'm getting all my commentary grievances out this week. So since we're on the topic of Khabib, here's another small but significant moment to me. Khabib's been manhandling and beating Conor McGregor into the canvas. All the meanwhile, Herb Dean being Herb Dean ignores every single grounded knee, fence grab, shorts grab, glove grab, pretty much anything Conor could grab without consent.
Hey, he shouldn't be talking.
He shouldn't be talking. He's always got to find something to fucking chirp about, especially during Khabib's run. You just know if John Jones was in that same situation, Joe would be giggling into the mic and talking about how great he is. Tell me I'm wrong. Quick side note, does anyone else think Joe and Goldie had some kind of falling out at some point? Okay, maybe falling out isn't the best way of saying it, but anyone that was watching towards the end of Goldie's run could tell you that Joe was starting to make a habit out of hanging him out to dry live on the air. Ronda Rousey was in the midst of being exposed badly by Holly Holm. Being head over heels in love with Ronda and being her #1 fan, Joe could not believe what he was seeing. And, you know, to be fair, nobody could.
Takes a lot of energy to be a rock star. Right now, Holly's taking a lot. Absolutely. A rock star.
Joe, you know exactly what he meant when he said that. But now just throw him under the bus because you're mad Ronda doesn't know striking defense. Rogan went from Ronda Rousey's biggest fan to John Jones's biggest fan. Talk about a downgrade. At least Ronda's just mean to people behind the scenes. John Jones is actually a terrible human being. And rather than going in depth with the Rogan glaze, I'm just gonna let this montage play.
I'm with the greatest of all time, John Jones. Be no doubt. You're the greatest of all time now. It's cemented. It's in history.
Look, every commentator is going to have biased moments. This is just so over the top, it's like almost comical. I figured we finish this off with the topic of fake reactions. But before that, let's see a real one for context. So this is Joe after Jose Aldo, the only featherweight champion in UFC history, had just been knocked out by Conor McGregor in just 13 seconds.
Conor relaxed, smiling. Oh! He slapped him! Conor McGregor is the new Unbelievable! Oh my God!
Great, looks like a normal human reaction to a massively shocking moment. Now contrast that with this next clip years later when Leon KO'd Kamaru.
That is not the cloth from which he is cut. I mean, that is a degenerate.
It's his eyes for me, the whole like bugged out look. Why was Joe ever a comedian when acting was very clearly his calling card? My favorite part of this clip are the comments like, you can't fake this level of excitement. Like, buddy, I got news for you. Bro hasn't watched an MMA fight he wasn't commentating since like 2014, and it shows. I saw a meme recently that asked for the hardest pills to swallow, with someone saying that the UFC peaked a decade ago.
Never before have I been so offended by something I 100% agree with.
The worst part is, I think that's completely true. Nothing will touch the 2016 era. I think we all kind of knew that while it was happening. But now the UFC isn't really concerned about improvement, especially now that they've sold it to the highest bidder. They don't really care about their commentary. Hell, half the people put it on mute or listen to YouTuber commentary anyway during the broadcast. There's no Rogan and Goldie or any kind of staple commentary team. So Rogan gets to pal around with DC, who literally eats into the microphone during the broadcast.
Look at that cut now. Oh my God. It got way worse. What an absolute war. These guys got in each other's face.
And nobody has any incentive to really get better. Commentary is an art form, but in the UFC, it seems like an art form being killed slowly by apathy.